All right, welcome back to The Digital Edge, my podcast and YouTube channel. Today, I'm super excited to be in the frosty Philadelphia area. I'm here with Nick Shimanovsky, who's our web design project director. And today we're going to just jump into some of the latest and greatest web design trends, tactics, and talk a little bit about the website design side of our business, which Nick here manages our designers and developers inside Media Components. Nick, I understand this is your first podcast?
This is my first podcast. Thank you for having me here.
First but not the last. Hopefully you'll enjoy the process, and we're doing it like kind of impromptu, but we're here, it's a little chilly. We're drinking hot coffee, hot cocoa, maybe something else.
Maybe something else, maybe some amaretto.
It's the holiday season. I decided to jump in here, one of our favorite spots here in the suburbs of Philadelphia, beautiful Bryn Athens, and just talk a little bit about website design. It's been really busy year at Media Components designing websites, especially during the holidays. We're going to be launching a couple interesting big projects. Why don't you share with some of our listeners and some of our viewers what has been different about this year than the previous year, and what are we looking for in the future with all of the AI? How is the department inside the company utilizing it to make it more productive and just taking it to the next level?
Well, thank you for mentioning AI. Actually, this year, in comparison to many other years that we've been working together, we've seen a big boost when it comes to pretty much every single aspect of website design development process. Everything, I would say, even from management. You have, everything is more streamlined now with the use of AI, from everything from copy making, everything to design. And again, it doesn't stop right there. Almost every single day you have more and more modern tools being released to the public that offer, I would say, groundbreaking results when it comes to designing and developing, coding, you name it. Almost every aspect of our lives is being changed right now with the introduction of all these new systems.
It's true, but specifically within our web design department, because we built quite a bit of landing pages, funnels, SEO, location pages, and mostly we're focusing on a WordPress, custom website theme developments, and advanced custom fields. Can you kind of walk us through that? What type of tools did you guys use to speed up the process in development, to make it more productive, more rapid, go to market, and launching the websites?
Good question. Our process is quite simple. We start with discovery. During the discovery process, we learn everything that we need about the client, about the project, and then we move to one of my favorite parts is wireframing and design. This is where we move our designs, the copy, to the design team, where we work with the creative parts, where we flesh out all the beautiful things that we do, and all the concept things are also being assisted with the new technologies, with the new AI technologies that resurface right now on the market. After that, we pivot to the development part. There, we utilize the most modern coding solutions for that would help speed up the process, that would help deliver the results deliver great results, let's say website speed, page speeds, have them on the more optimal level than it was before the introduction of AI technologies. All of that is assisted, again, all the coding process is also assisted with AI tools. Now, once that is done, we pivot towards SEO setup, and then the full project is being delivered to our happy clients.
Yeah, just the other day, when we had the meeting and you mentioned that our developers are utilizing, for example, ChatGPT to speed up the coding, speed up the programming of whether it's a JavaScript or a custom theme. Right? Are they using actual like OpenAI ChatGPT prompts to build modules and build like object-oriented development, like software itself?
I would say a little bit more. We do utilize specialized tools that work on the OpenAI engine that are explicitly rigged towards the coding and to the things that we need for that. But ChatGPT does assist greatly also. But in order to utilize it, you need a good professionals, which we gladly have.
Yeah, and you mentioned there are tools, AI tools coming out, which we're going to focus on this upcoming 2026 year, is to make the website design even faster and more productive. You mentioned like there's a tool like Reloom. Basically, you can come up with a prompt and you're going to get a website or a full-featured sitemap with up to 10, 20, really unlimited pages, and it's going to code up instantly a good-looking user experience and give you all the code, all the graphics, and then on the top of it, you can build in SEO-optimized copy. It's going to give you all the HTML meta tags, all the schema tags, H1 tags, and this is going to really revolutionize the website development. What took us maybe 3 to 4 months to develop a website, now it's going to be days to weeks. Is that right?
That is actually very true. Again, as I said, a lot of softwares are surfacing right now, and Reloom is one of them that I actually keep my eye on. I see great potential in these kind of apps. It's extremely beneficial for our clients to receive the projects on time and actually in faster timelines than it was before. Again, as you mentioned, 2-3 months are turning into a few weeks, which is extremely beneficial for pretty much every business nowadays.
Yeah, nowadays everybody's used to getting instant satisfaction, with all the AI tools. But what makes our company different is that all of our solutions are custom. So it does take a little bit more time to do the research, to look at the competitive landscape, do the competitive analysis, and then build a custom solution which doesn't look like a template. Right now you can get an AI tool, it's going to look like a template. It might resemble maybe 100 other websites, but the reason it takes a little bit longer right now is we custom design the user experience using Figma inside the design department, and then the designers delegate this work to our developers, and then they code custom user experiences with the latest technologies. And would you say right now more and more significance is going into mobile first experience still?
That is absolutely true. We do put a lot of effort to make mobile sites and everything as not even as good as possible. I would say to make them the cornerstone, the keystone of every project, because most people nowadays do view websites and consume content on the internet through mobile devices. If my memory serves me right, and I might be wrong, but the split is almost like 40 to 60, maybe even more, and it's growing.
It's more nowadays, A lot of countries, their primary use of technology is through their phones, whether it's Android or an iPhone, but I think it's only going to get even more. So I think right now the split could be maybe 70-30, but maybe in a couple of years it's going to be mobile only, because iPhones are getting cheaper and cheaper. You can get an iPhone for like $500-600. You don't have to get the latest iPro Max 25, whatever it is nowadays. I'm still on my iPhone 15.
That might release more new versions when this episode comes out.
What I was saying is we're focusing on mobile first experience and developing all of the websites to be responsive on all the devices, whether it's iPhone, iPad, Android, laptop, 40-inch screen. It has to be responsive and it has to have the same information displayed properly on all the browsers.
Correct. We do use that. We also trying to utilize the latest UX solutions and cater towards every client need just to make sure we cover everything. And again, in the end, we want to make the project as unique as possible for each and every client, utilizing the latest solutions, latest methods, latest designs, decisions, and everything else. I mean, every year there's a new color coming out that...
The Pantone color of the year?
Exactly.
Yes, it's true. What's the color now? Did they release it yet?
I don't think they did.
So. Check out Pantone color of the year. But Nick, I also wanted to get into the quality assurance, the QA part, which is the last part right before we upload it to the server. Why is it more than ever important to really QA the websites for security, for SEO friendliness, and just cross-browser testing?
It is the reputation that is on the line when a user sees a bug or a flaw in the system. Our main focus is to make everything pretty much pixel perfect. We do put a lot of value into quality assurance and quality control because that brings value, and that's just something that is expected in the year 2025 moving to 2026.
So, whenever we release an upload, launch a website, we always offer a 30-day maintenance that comes with any of our products. But oftentimes, all of our clients sign up to like a maintenance package. And what does that include? It includes, any security updates, plugin updates, making sure the core software is stable, but also let the client rest assured that we're always behind them and we have their back whenever they need like a fix on the page or they want to add a new module. Nick, can you kind of walk us through why having clients subscribe to like a maintenance package is important, especially with dynamic CMSs like WordPress or Wix or Shopify? There's a lot of things are changing. There's people adding blogs through the marketing team. Why is it important to keep an eye on the software on a monthly basis?
Well, one of the first things that comes into my mind, that is security. With the rise of technology, there's an ever-present threat of cyber attacks, and it's very important to keep your websites secure and healthy as possible. What I mean by that, we need to make sure all the plugins are updated. The PHP version is always up to date. That is a few non-negotiable factors in nowadays world. So this is what our team does. We keep a close eye on the website, on how everything functions, how everything works. Our goal is to also not have downtime and have, I would say, daily backups. All the work, any work that is being done is being closely monitored, and also it's even being done on a development environment just to ensure that the main website, the live site, is operating at 100% capacity.
That's true. Yeah, we usually have a production environment, a development environment, and a backup environment. So if there's any downtimes or there's a redundancy purpose, we can always bring an old version up and get the client's site back up and running. Lately there's a lot of hackers, threat actors that are out there to take control of your website and put some kind of a virus on there or malware. So like you said, it's important to keep all of the website software and plugins and versions up to date, because if you don't, the websites will bug out, they might go down, and you're going to lose business. So that's why most of our clients who do subscribe to our maintenance plans, they can rest assured that we're monitoring the infrastructure and making sure the website's always up there. So Nick, we've been designing hundreds of websites over the years in Media Components, but what really excites me right now is all of the generative AI. It allows us to create not only text content, but a lot of the visual, realistic type photos. It's all about the prompt. You can really prompt the system and get almost like a stock photography image that I notice you and your creative team does a lot for the clients. And they come out super sharp, really interesting, really high quality. Which tools do you guys use to create, the realistic images, whether it's photo or video? Give us a couple of tips of what people are listening which tools can they use to generate cool images or videos or text for their websites.
As you were saying this, I was thinking about one thing and one thing only. Remember back in the days, in the 90s, where all those things were just a fraction of our imagination? I would say we could not even conceive that this thing is possible. And look at this now. Things like Sora 2, things like Gemini, things like Midjourney, OpenAI, pretty much everything delivers nowadays such a good quality AI photography that it's almost impossible to see if it's real or not. Like, there's almost no distinction. I would say there's no distinction if you make it right.
I agree with you, because before we would have to hire photographers and this whole crew to get like a lifestyle shot, like people sitting on a bench in the park like we are. Nowadays, your only limit is your imagination and your prompting experience. If you can prompt it as detailed as possible to the detail of like what kind of lens or focal number, f2.8, 35 millimeter lens. People that know how to prompt exactly to make it look super realistic are really is the future. And when they say will AI replace workers, it will if you don't get up to date with the prompt engineering. So if you're watching this and you're thinking like, what is a good job security for the future? I would say AI, but look into how to use AI, how to leverage it, and how to elevate your day-to-day tasks. And you mentioned Midjourney. Can you kind of give us a couple examples? What do you use Midjourney for as far as in the web design process?
Let's take a project, for example. We have copy, we have the content that we're working with, and we need contextual-based photography. A lot of this stuff before, prior to the resurgence of AI, it was the same stock photography, to be honest. Now, based on that content that we get, our designers can make very, very unique photos catered to that specific client based on their content and context of the message, which is something that would have taken months previously, and now it's
instant now.
It's instant.
You can generate images within seconds. And I know for some clients, for example, like our credit union clients, we always change the images on the homepage seasonally. So if you build like the avatar, the persona, one time, you can give it different clothes, you can give it different backgrounds based on the season. Whether it's Christmas season or summer season, you can have it hold different elements and have different apparel. Is that right?
That is absolutely right. Actually, one of the things that we love doing is providing seasonal updates to our credit union clients. A lot of people are viewing them, and during that season, it's nice to give a little bit of joy to each and every visitor that visits their website.
Yeah, I mean, those little elements what really makes it unique and custom experience. And we work quite a bit of home care clients, and if you visit enough home care websites, it's the same little old grandma with the same caregiver. It's just redundant and it looks a little bit old if it's the same image on all the home care websites. So what you and your team does is you create custom personas, custom avatars, and custom people that are models, but each of our clients gets a unique image. If they don't have a photographer in-house, if they're not able to get professional photography made, we use AI to really generate custom imagery, which is branded. It has their logo on the scrubs, it has their logo on the apparel, and that's really the future, is utilizing AI to make your visual product seem really unique and custom.
Absolutely right. And again, as you said, it might sound easy, it might sound simple, but behind every single person who's putting a prompt is a person with years of experience in this field, with great knowledge in this in their trade skill. And all of that can be done only when these two things are combined together. So you need an experienced person working on that.
Exactly.
One of the things that I'm very proud of is that our team, every single time when we make a project, we think of how it's going to look 5 years into the future, how it's going to work 5 years into the future. Again, nowadays, with all the things that are evolving so fast, you need to think what's going to be the new version of PHP. Like, are the plugins going to be functioning with the new framework that's going to come out? Yes, all those things are taken into considerations. We future-proof almost everything that we do. Not only that, we also try to future-proof the design as much as possible. Again, from UX perspective, from UI perspective, a lot of thought is being done on the back end to ensure the client gets not only the best quality, the best looking website, but also something that's gonna stand to the passing of time.
So Nick, I know you manage probably close to like 10 people now in the department, between the designers and the developers. How do you stay motivated and how do you stay on track? Like, what kind of tools do you use in the project management department to really stay productive and keep track of dozens of projects?
Well, the secret is simple. It's just a lot of coffee.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, but jokes aside, we use Monday.com for task management, for project management. We use ChatGPT for assisting us with day-to-day activities. We use Figma for communication with design, client, project management teams. With coding, sometimes we utilize PHP Storm and a myriad of other softwares that could help us in the design, development, and coding processes. This is right now. In this ever-changing market, there's going to be something different tomorrow. It might be Reloom, as I said before. It might be some newer version of ChatGPT that's going to come out. All we have to do is just wait and see and adjust.
Yeah, exactly. What are the tool or maybe two that you're looking to kind of master in the upcoming year? Anything you have your sights set up on? Like which tool that you kind of been looking at and maybe we're going to implement it within the company? Any ideas or anything you want to share?
Does it fall under NDA? No, I'm definitely looking into modern coding solutions. There's definitely going to be more. I cannot really name a specific software that I'm going to be looking into. That's going to be a secret for later. But what comes right now, I'm very excited about this. And when it comes to the design part, as we spoke about this before, again, I have a lot of hopes that softwares like Reloom and Figma will step up and integrate more and more AI solutions into their framework. Aside from that, I feel nowadays everyone has to know the basics of coding, so I'm definitely going to be upping my skill in PHP, HTML, and all the other coding languages.
So, Nick, that's actually true. It's all about AI these days. It's all about making it productive. But end of the day, website is just one pillar of a comprehensive strategy in marketing. We have a full service agency, so we do SEO, we do social media, we do video content, and we do landing pages, and we do websites. Websites is one of the most important kind of pillars, as I mentioned, because we're driving all of the traffic for lead generation into the websites. And that's why we started this company. I personally started this company as a web design company. Before any SEO, before Google's and Facebook's, there was only a website and a browser back in the AOL days. And it's just amazing to see how far we have gone, and only to see next year with AI emerging and just taking over all of the day-to-day marketing. We're just excited to kind of be along for the ride and see the future of web. There's Web 2.0, Web 3.0, with the cryptocurrency craze. We're here to stay, and we're just gonna keep doing and kind of staying on top of the trends. And Nick, I appreciate you holding down the web design department, working with our designers, developers, and just let's continue to innovate and produce the best we can for our clients.
Let's do it.